Okay guys, so I am gonna show you how to map out the proportions of the face. The first thing we want to start with is a vertical line. Then we want to draw a circle at the top of that line. Next, we want to find the middle point of the circle. We're going to make a little mark at the middle point. Then we want to make a mark at the top of the circle and at the bottom of the circle. Then we want to cut in half the area between the midpoint of the circle and the bottom. So we'll put mark about halfway there. Then we want to do the same thing up here. Just like that. Then what we want to do is, since you're going to be using this to reference and help you kind of lay out your own self-portrait on your piece of paper with your charcoal when we start our final drawing, I want you to be labeling this. So what we're going to do is bring some lines over this way. And we're going to be labeling these 1/4. Sorry, that's my washing machine. Okay, so once we've done that, we're gonna draw a smaller circle. It's gonna be 3/4 of the size of the circle that we've already drawn. So we're just gonna go like this, and then we're gonna overlap it with the last quarter of our bigger circle. So go ahead and make a mark at the bottom here. And then we're gonna draw that circle starting from this line right here and ending at this line right here. We're gonna erase all these lines, so draw lightly. I'm drawing in red just so that you can see what I'm doing. But you should be drawing lightly with your pencil. All right, so there's our smaller circle. What we're gonna do now is find the midpoint of this smaller circle. We're gonna ignore this line right here, and we're just gonna try to find about halfway for this circle. So I think it's probably maybe about right there. And then what we're gonna do is bring over our lines this way and start labeling which parts of the face they're gonna be. So this is the top of the head here. This is the hairline. And right here is the center of the big circle. Right here is going to be the eyes. This will be the nose. And this will be the lips. So now what we want to do is come from the center of the big circle, so this line right here, and we're going to kind of connect this on both sides. And if you want, you can kind of map out the chin a little bit. All right. So the first thing we're going to work on inside of the face is the eyes. So here's our eye line right here. What we're going to do is draw 5 eyes, I'm just using, this is just a generic proportion. So everybody's face is different. When you start doing your actual self-portrait, you're going to be able to tweak it based on what your face looks like. But right now we're just mapping out the general proportions. So what you want to do is draw 5 eyes about the same shape and size across the face. Like that. And then what we're going to do is we're only going to keep 2 of those eyes, because obviously we don't have 5 eyes, right? So, sorry, I don't have my eraser out for some reason. So what we're going to do now is erase the eye in the middle and the 2 on the outside. And then that gives us the placement of our eye. Next, what we're going to do is map out the placement of the nose. So in order to do that, we're going to go to our nose line, and right where this intersects, we're going to draw a circle. Oops, sorry. So before you draw that circle, what you're going to want to do is bring a couple lines down from the corner of your eyes. And that's about where your nostrils need to stop. So after you draw these lines, then you can draw your middle circle for your nose. Then you're going to draw some smaller circles a little bit higher than that middle circle. And those are for your nostrils. Then what you can do is kind of go in and outline that basic shape of the nose. Then you can kind of erase your guidelines there. And then we have a basic nose shape. Next, we're going to work on the lips. The lips don't come farther than the middle of your eye. So bring a line down from the middle of that eye, where your pupil would be if we had one. And to draw a mouth, so here's our lips right here. To draw a mouth, it's kind of like 2 triangles almost. So start your triangle at the edge there. See, we have like a triangle there. And you want to leave room for that sort of dip that you have in your lips. Then you can draw the other side of the top lip. They're like 2 long triangles. And then to do the bottom, what I like to do is kind of draw an oval. Again, I don't know if I mentioned this, but we're going to go over in more depth how to do the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. Right now, I'm just doing this, kind of giving you a brief overview. Really what we're focusing on is just the proportions of the face. But what I like to do for the bottom lip is kind of draw an oval like that. And I draw this bottom part here. That's like the bottom lip right there. And then when I'm shaping the top lip, I kind of come over and I do this little diagonal line, sort of. And then I draw this bow at the bottom of the lip too. It's kind of like a half circle that matches the top. Then we'll come back over here, do that sort of diagonal line again, connect it. There you got some lips. The thing about the lips is that the top lip is always a little bit darker than the bottom, so I'm going to shade that in a little bit. Then you can kind of map out the chin underneath it. Maybe shade a little bit right there. So now we can see a pretty general face right there. We can kind of go in and see where the hairline is. See, this is our hairline, so again, this is just general. And something that we're missing is some ears. So the ears start, the top of the ears start at about the eyes, and they end at about the lips. I know that probably seems big, but if you look at yourself, you'll probably find that it's pretty true. So I'm just gonna make a little general ear shape. And there we have a face nice and mapped out. What you can do after this is kind of give yourself some eyelids like this. Kind of follow this edge of the eye, come down, some eyelids. So you can kind of draw a line like this if you want. That's like where your brow starts almost. And you can draw some eyebrows. Then you can do the top of the nose that kind of goes around the eyes right there. So that's your basic face shape. If you want to know where the neck is going to start, you can kind of bring a line down this way. And those are the general proportions of the face. I want you guys to do this in your sketchbook so that you can reference it when you lay it down on your big paper.